All right, all right. Yo, yo,
All right,
yo.
all right,
Welcome everybody who is either listening live or listening to a recording. I mean, live is obviously the better choice. Actually, I don't know with a podcast. I feel like a podcast you can just fucking chill because I mentioned Joe Rogan's podcast last time, and I know my buddy Justin. Whoa, I know my buddy Justin listens to it live, possibly sometimes, but I prefer the chill. You alright over there, man?
No,
Yeah.
nah, I'm good.
but I'm chilling. I got my French vanilla coffee this time. I don't know if I had French vanilla last time. It might have been a hazelnut blend, but I'm not totally sure. But this is episode 2. So last week, let me do the math. That would have been, yep, episode 1. And then this is episode 2 of, I think, 3 or 4. I don't even know. No, we're just going to go with the flow, dude. We're hopping in the
Yeah.
podcast river. The fucking...
You know what they say, dude. First is the worst, second is the best.
I mean, he's got a fucking point. He's
Mm-hmm.
got a fucking point. But as you can tell, this one is not going to be like last week's. We have our little... I don't even want to use the word guest, because that sounds weird. But you're a fucking guest, let's be honest. And we have ModernTryhard, the fucking Destiny legend, multiple speedrun holder, multiple challenge accomplisher, and he is a fucking redheaded ginger.
What
Yes,
the?
if you're not sure what that means that the hair on the top of his skull is most likely not the same color as the hair on top of your skull. What, like, I don't even know what percent of the fucking population is redheaded anyway. Modern, welcome.
Hello. You're a fucking dick.
I mean, all right. So I got 2 questions for you. 2 questions for
All right, what do you got?
you. Yeah, only 2 for now. Okay, question 1 is all right, if you were to stand up and loosen the waistband around your pants, right?
All right.
And you were to pull it out and look down at your cock and balls, is the hair surrounding that region engulfing your most likely bigger than mine penis? Is there a resemblance to your head? So basically, as the term goes, does the carpet match the drapes?
Yes, it does actually.
Is it not, like, I'm being totally serious though, like man to man.
Yes, I'm
Is
being
it
100% serious. Yes.
so it's not black at all?
No.
Is it like the same exact color as the hair on your head, or is it like darker or lighter?
It's like just a tad darker, but
Okay, so it is. Okay, that's what I figured. I guess if you're living in the Bat Cave, dude, you gotta adjust to the climate, the atmosphere. It gets a little swampy down there sometimes. And then my second question is: would you say that the hair on your head is actually red, or because I think it's more of an orange, personally.
It really depends on the time period. Like around summertime, it gets like a lot brighter.
It gets
But, like
light.
during the winter,
Yeah.
yeah, and then the winter it gets darker.
When it gets darker, because that's normal. Like a lot of people that have, like, some people actually get blonde highlights in their hair from the sun. Like in the summer, they actually
Mhm.
get like blonde highlights if you have like a brown, like a light brown colored hair. Um, does yours get any blonde in it in the summer, and does it get any brown in it in the winter?
It just gets browner in the winter, and it just gets like more orangey in the summer.
More Chucky from the Rugrats. Do you even know who Chucky is?
No, I don't actually.
You don't even know who Chucky is.
Which kind of Chucky are we talking
Like
about?
Chucky from the Rugrats, the TV show from Nickelodeon.
Yeah, do you think I fucking watched that show?
You don't watch that show?
No, never did.
Well, dude, it's fucking legit, man. It's a fucking it's a cartoon that was in Nickelodeon, and basically it's about these 4 little babies. Tommy Pickles, Chucky, Phil and Lil, and they ran around and they went on all these like crazy ass adventures and solved all these like fucking puzzles. It is good stuff. You should check it out.
Yeah, it's probably irrelevant.
All right. Then when you grew up, when you were a kid, what the fuck were you watching? Like, what was your hot, like, fucking cool
What
to
was my
watch?
hot shit, dude?
Yeah, like the best TV show to watch as a kid. Like, if you were the kid and you were the cool fucking kid and you were watching the hot hip TV shows, what were the good shows?
Well, see, here's the thing. Since I had a 9-year difference between me and my sister, and my
Okay,
sister always had the TV, so I always just watched whatever she was watching, usually.
all right. So, like, what the fuck was she watching?
I don't know,
You don't
fucking
even know you.
dude. It was so long ago. It was like probably like just like shit, like dude.
Is there any TV show that you remember watching as a kid and
Yeah,
liking?
Drake and Josh a lot, and then fucking whatever was like on MTV.
Okay, so it seems like it was more like real life shows with actors and not so much cartoons.
Yeah.
Damn, so you never did that like cartoon life.
Nope. Never had it.
I kind of feel
The only
bad for you.
cartoon life I had was like a little bit of SpongeBob.
Okay. So SpongeBob's been around for a while. I don't even know like what year SpongeBob. Let me check that out. How
Gotta hit
long?
it with the good old Google
Oh,
search.
dude, Google's my man. Google. It'd be a really hard question if somebody was like, "All right, you get one of these two websites for the rest of your life. Google or YouTube. Which one would you choose?" You can only use just that website and you can't use the other one.
I would use YouTube.
YouTube. See, I feel like YouTube's probably the way to go because pretty much anything that you can find on Google, you can find on YouTube, but with video.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Anything that
again,
you
but then again, somebody could argue that you could find videos as well off of Google. You just would have to make sure that the video is not
link to
is
YouTube.
not a YouTube link. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
like,
most things that you look up always has the YouTube freaking
that's true.
has
And I
videos.
and I feel like Google automatically just defaults to YouTube as its like primary video. I don't know. I guess I'd probably go with YouTube as well.
I'd say YouTube because literally like music is there, like everything.
Yeah.
Just like yeah, just pretty much everything.
So pretty much
Except for
our
fucking porn, dude.
yeah, pretty much YouTube is just the best.
Yeah, YouTube's the fucking
You
best
can
site.
even find like semi porn. I mean, dude, you don't even fucking need goddamn porn sites to look at porn anymore. All right, here's an example, dude. Carly Joe.
Dude, some fucking freshies.
Yeah, let me tell you guys about Carly Joe. I actually got to give a well shout out to my friend Justin who introduced me to Carly Joe. But she's a chick, and I respect what she does actually because she's like an entrepreneur, and she started a like barista, aka coffee shop, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I think it's in Washington State. I'm almost sure on that. But it's like a bikini barista. So have you like even heard of these before? Modern.
Are you talking?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're the
obviously.
only one here.
I mean, like,
Dude, I've never heard of bikini baristas before. Really, I didn't know they were a thing. But I guess she's like starting a somewhat successful company out there called Bikini Beans Barista, and it's just her. And obviously, you know, she's the fucking hottest because she's the one that started it all and everything. But she started and they walk around in bikinis and they like serve you fucking food and coffee and everything in bikinis. And I gotta say, she looks damn fucking good. So I'm not gonna sit here and like, I'm not trying to promote Carly Joe or anything, but I must say that I respect what she does, and it's dope, and she looks good doing it.
yeah, and then she's got the pasties.
Yeah, shit. Like, I mean, whatever. Anybody that wants to go check her out, go for it. She's got like a fucking bajillion. How many followers does she actually have? Let me check her Twitter. Carly Joe. On Twitter, she has 64.6 thousand followers. And on Instagram as what the fuck is their thing? Bikini beans burrito. Yeah, there it is. On Instagram, she has. No, that's not.
72.1.
What is it?
72.1.
72,000. All right, yeah. So she's got that internet life going.
Oh, dude, she's got some freshies on here.
Dude, I told you. That's where I found her. I didn't actually start looking at her stuff on Twitter until until I started using Twitter for gaming and stuff. Yeah, dude, her Instagram's loaded. I think she posts more on there actually.
Oh, 100% she
does. All right, I wonder how many new fucking followers she's gonna have. But fucking anyway. So, ModernTryhard. I think a question that has been coming up with a lot of people lately is what is the origin of the name ModernTryhard?
Well, it dates back all the way to MW3.
MW3.
Obviously. MW3 was the fucking tits.
Did you enjoy it more than MW2?
Yeah.
Why?
I just loved the time to kill, and I hated the fact of one-man army noob tubes 24/7.
True, that was definitely a downfall.
And I just the way that you were able to spawn trap on MW3 was just amazing.
For sure.
I don't know, I loved it. Everything about that game I loved. By far, it was my favorite.
What was your usual fucking before we get too off topic? Actually, continue with the name and then we'll go back and we'll talk about MW3.
Then there was this guy called Modern Penguin 31.
All right.
and this guy, I fucking I friended him like a long time ago. Like this, and then we were playing like MW3 together, and then we were doing face off, and then we were like, dude, you know, it'd be cool if we both had the name Modern in the front of our name. So, and then obviously I was a tryhard, so I just went with ModernTryhard.
So wait, what was your name before that though?
It was PMG Wolf, and that, oh my god.
So what the fuck what does PMG stand for?
So me and my friend Derek, he's a kid from my school. He's now living in Poland. He was actually the kid that visited a couple weeks ago. But we made a clan called PMG, and I kid you not, this clan was called Pro Major Gamers.
Dude, I was gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that maybe it was something like Pussy Magnet Gangsters, but I think I would rather have my clan name as Pussy Magnet Gangsters than Pro Major. What the fuck was it? Pro what?
Pro Major Gamers.
Pro Major Gamers.
Yeah, yes. we had like our own like forum site and everything, and we had like we had like 8 members, dude. It was sick. We had like it was amazing.
Do you still talk to any of those guys?
No. There's one of them actually like would nonstop call me on FaceTime. I had to fucking block him.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know why. Dude.
Was he a fucking 40-year-old stalker?
No, he's probably 17 right now.
Oh,
16.
Okay, so he's young.
Yeah, we were like 12, 13 at the time.
All right.
So we were just trying to, be like the next big clan. Never happened.
Pro Major Gamers.
Yeah, Major Gamers.
Did you guys
had, like,
play
a site and everything?
Did you guys play Modern Warfare 2 at all?
No. This was like around MW3 time.
Okay.
And then we went into Ghosts.
Because I wonder, so I played with a group of friends, Justin, Dan, Jeff, Dave. I mean, those are like the primary. We played with other people too. Sorry if I missed anybody. But I was wondering if like we ever ran into you guys at some point. Dude, honestly, maybe. Who the fuck knows? I don't remember every goddamn clan that I ever came up against, but we might have actually played each other. I mean, I probably whooped your ass, let's be honest.
Yeah, probably not.
Alright, so you went from PMG Wolf, because you like
Yeah,
wolves,
PC Wolf.
because wolf is your
Yes.
favorite animal.
And I with the naming, I put a 0 instead of an O because it looked better.
Okay. It was like what, flatter or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just looked a lot better than with it capitalized.
yeah. And then that fucking guy with the modern name in front of him. You
Modern
kind of
Penguin.
did it as a joke, you said? Sort of?
Yeah,
But why try hard? Like, what made you choose that?
just because like I couldn't think of like another like word to go with it, and I was like, well, I'm a freaking tryhard, so.
Gotcha.
And then of course I was fucking what 14. I
Yeah.
was like 14 at the time, so I always thought of myself as like the best.
Alright, so I'm gonna fucking cast you out here a little. We're gonna play my favorite modern tryhard video ever. Live on stream.
Whoa, is this like the first one?
Yeah, this is the modern's first YouTube video ever.
Oh!
And I'm gonna play this live. Just pay attention to modern's little voice. Alright, we're gonna go to that. Alright, here we go. Nuka Mondays!
Actually, no, that's not my first one.
What's going on,
My
guys?
first one is
It is
unlisted.
ModernTryhard here, and in this video is the first episode of Nuka Mondays, and pretty much every Monday I will be posting a nuke from Ep.2, or a Moab from MW3, or a chem strike in Call of Duty Ghosts. So every Monday I will post one of these kind of videos.
Every Monday. How many Mondays did this continue?
I think it went like 4.
4?
Yeah.
Alright, well, so much for the every Monday thing. Dude, that video is a classic. It's so funny because you can hear, like, your voice inflections and, like, the way that you pronounce words. It's still, like, you can
The same.
You can definitely hear that it's you. But, I mean, well, fucking, here comes a genius sentence. You just sound like 5 years younger. Obviously.
Yeah, I still pretty much sound the same.
Nah, you don't sound the same at all. Your words come out the same, just in a couple like octaves lower. Oh. All right, so we went from modern tryhard on MW3, and then what? And then what happened? So you played that like pretty seriously, no-lifed it for a while.
Yeah, and then I went to Ghosts, which Ghost was a complete game changer for me.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much, I don't know if you played Extinction or anything.
What the fuck is Extinction?
It was basically Infinity Wars, like, or Alien.
Wait,
You
what was
basically
that?
had this drill. You had this drill, and you had to mine the hive, and then it was like a certain time, and then once you were done, then you had to move the drill to a next hive spot. And then you had to like bring it all the way to like the end, and then there'll be like an end thing like this one. You had to set off a nuke, and then you had to run back all the way back to the chopper. It was like the first map.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I never played it.
What the hell? I don't know. The Extinction was like the best thing that was in Call of Duty Ghosts, in my opinion.
Alright.
But it was like the last DLC on Call of Duty Ghosts Extinction, and it was Exodus, and I actually took that pretty seriously, and I was like going for like leaderboards and stuff, like for like the most completions
Yeah.
on the 360, and I was able to get myself like within like the top 500, and then I match made with these people, and they were like top 10 people, and they're fucking killers, dude.
Oh shit. You guys
Yeah,
get
and
whooped?
then, well, no, we it was like a team based thing, like it was a party of 4, and then pretty much I match made them, and they thought I was good, and they invited me, and then we became friends, and then we were doing like some serious stuff together, like going for like completely like just speed running it, trying to get as many completions as as possible, getting up on the leaderboards. And then
Okay.
I did my first ever speedrun on that game and had the world record for like a
So
couple of weeks.
so did you leave your PMG clan?
Yeah,
Okay, did you still talk to them at all, or did you just totally abandon them
I
entirely?
pretty much just abandoned them. This
Okay,
is when Call of Duty Ghosts came out, I already made the switch to Modern Tryhard.
okay, I got you. And then what was that? Did that clan like have a name?
No, it wasn't even a clan. It was just a group of fucking slayers.
Mm. Then that was like
Yeah,
your first experience, like PVE speedrunning and challenging yourself.
yeah.
So would you
And then
say? So that was definitely the first game that you ever played that you pushed the limits
mhm,
outside of what the game like recommended that you do.
yeah.
All right.
And then I went into Destiny, and I thought Destiny was going to be like I personally I was not going to get Destiny, but like everyone was saying like, oh dude, Destiny is going to be amazing, blah 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 blah, and I was like, all right, I'll get it. And then like when I got the game, I didn't have many friends. I only had like one other friend, and we were playing and stuff, and then I met this one group. The only person that I still know from that group that I've recently talked to was like Freshness. I know a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people are like friends with them on Xbox, but I found that group, and then we would just play like every week doing raids and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Crota came out, that's when I discovered myself to Twitch. Like that was the first time I actually like sat down and like watched people on Twitch. And then I noticed Slayer and like the HMO5 and then Tfue, and I was like, man, I was like, it'd be cool if I could do stuff like them. And I pushed myself to like solo Crota, and then like I was like, oh, let me just challenge myself. Basically, I just copied what the HMO5 did, just to
Yeah.
like just
Like handicapping yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. So
And
so
then I
going back a little bit before we press on, like how did you find Twitch? Did hearsay? Did somebody tell you about it, or did you just stumble upon it yourself?
yeah, someone told me about it. They were like, yo, you should check out Twitch. Like you could just watch people live.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And I just went out to Twitch, and I was like, well, they have literally every single game, but obviously I was only interested in watching Destiny.
Yeah, of course. Who
So,
would you say was your number one like biggest inspiration if you had to pick one person?
uh, Slayer.
Blair? And
Yeah.
what was like the big, I guess, maybe one or two things that he did that you were just like, shit.
It was definitely the solo Crota, and
Yeah.
then I was watching him do the solo Crota speedruns.
Yeah, the
He's like,
OG ones.
I just thought watching him solo Crota, like speedrunning it, was just amazing. I was like, man, I just want to do that. And then that's how I found out about Tfue,
Okay, yeah, because
because
they were.
Tfue was fucking slaying, and I was like,
Yeah,
damn.
he was. Dude, they were because they were going back and forth. That was like a cool time when you could have both of their streams open, or like one would stop streaming, the other would start streaming, and they were both doing the same speed run, doing the same fucking strats, and it was really cool because that you see that stuff now with Destiny and even other video games similar to Destiny, but you had never seen that sort of competition with a game like Destiny because there had never been anything like that before.
Yeah,
like like all other speedrun competitions had always been games that are recognized in the GDQs and stuff like that,
and it
and
was always like full games.
yeah, and like retro games, I mean, obviously
Yeah.
the big ones like Super Mario 64 and Zelda and stuff like that come to mind, but a game like Destiny, which obviously still hasn't caught the attention of the speedrunning community like some games, and probably I don't know, might maybe someday if fucking Destiny 3 absolutely kills it, but I don't think it'll ever reach that attention um that those other games reach. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see them go head to head. So what was the first like big challenge that you did that you were legitimately really proud of? You're like, fuck yeah, like you stayed up all night to do it.
Solo one sword.
Solo one. So which character?
I did
Hun-
on the Hunter.
Hunter? Is it on your
Yeah.
YouTube?
Yeah, yes, it should be.
If it's down there. Well, let's see. I gotta get past all these fucking Call of Duty videos. Alright. You see it before me. Let me. Oh wait, here we go. Here we go. Solo Crota with one sword, Hunter, right?
Yep.
Yep. Let's
That was
fucking.
like my first.
I'm
big-
just gonna go right to the kill. So this is your first like big ass.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
It probably looks just like everyone else.
Yeah, I mean,
solo one-sided.
yeah, for sure. But it's like, it's cool going back and looking at, you know, something that you did so long ago. Because back in the day, this is what everybody did. Everybody did the side strat, you know.
Yeah, dude, the side strat was lit.
I mean, it was the best. Yeah, it was the best way to go, especially in a hunter.
Mhm. God, dude, it's literally like I just did it yesterday. Like it feels like I did it yesterday.
Yeah. Good old Crota, man.
Mhm. God, I haven't seen that in so long.
Got the little slash in at the end. Nice.
Yep. Dude, I was just nervous. I was like, oh.
Yeah. How long did that take you the first time through?
It took me a couple hours.
Really?
Yeah,
Like, how many is a couple hours?
like maybe 3, 4, maybe 5. Honestly.
Oh, okay, so it's damn. It took me a
Yeah.
while. How much solo experience did you have before that, though?
Literally just came fresh. Well, I wouldn't say came fresh, but it was like pretty much the third time I probably soloed him.
Yeah.
Like I said, like a huge inspiration was watching other people doing this stuff. So
Yeah,
I was
for
like,
sure.
I want to do it.
For sure. And then, what about like people from Redeem? How did you come across all them?
First person I came across was Nuclear, and that was
So how'd you meet him?
through a chat. It was our pack in stream because yeah, we were gonna do like some type of challenge. This is when I joined the legend himself.
So
We
wait,
were
how
gonna
did that? How did that even happen? Go back to that. How did you?
How
join
did that
him?
even happen?
Yeah. Because I don't think I've ever actually heard this stuff.
So Tifu was he was streaming and he was helping his friend J Divinity get through Crota, and he was like, I need some people to like help me carry him and finish it. I was like, oh, literally sent him a message instantly, dude. And I joined and we played, and for some reason Tifu added me. I was kind of stoked. I was like, damn, like I was pretty pumped when he added me, and then Jade Affinity, he really liked me, so we always played together. And then from there, he invited me into Deer Squaw, which, or what was it? It was like Absolute Being at the time, and then they changed it to Deer Squaw.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, and it was always the Deer Squad. And then I met Magnetic Rubber because he was in that clan. So I met him through there, so he'll come into play later on the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I was in the clan and I knew Tifu, obviously my name was like sort of like thrown around because I would play with Tifu like here and there.
Yeah.
And I believe it was the Prison of Elders. One sec, let me check. We me, Tifu, and J Divinity did like Prison of Elders speedrun like literally like the day after it came out. And that was like our first like speedrun together.
What was the time on that?
I'm looking 16:53.
And what's the current time?
I have no idea.
Probably a lot better, I'm guessing.
I think it's like 13 minutes now. Like maybe 12.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, this was like the level 28 version.
Yeah.
And then because I did that and then I was like pushing myself to like do other stuff. And then man. Then I got into somehow Slayer knew who I was. And because I did like this Sparrowtage.
Okay.
Basically because freaking obviously Slayer did it, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool, and like I wanted to do it myself, so I made like, you know, a Sparrowtage and I linked it to him. because he wanted to peep it out, and he was like, "Wow, dude, this is sick," and stuff like that. And then like, then I started playing with him, and then out of nowhere, yeah, basically just invited me to the legend himself.
Slayer did himself.
Yeah,
Damn, that must have been pretty dope though. Like
yeah.
having somebody that you watched and then
Mhm.
fucking months later, however later it was.
Yeah, and then
Joining the clan.
we did challenges with the legend himself people. Obviously not with Slayer, but it was like with other people.
Yeah.
And this is what happened. This is how we got Nuclear together. I was trying to do a speedrun of Crota Zen because we saw like tier 1, they were speedrunning and stuff like that, and we were like, man, dude, we were like, we want to try to beat their time and stuff like that. And I was gonna do it with this other group, but that never happened. And then some people from the legend himself were like, I mean, we want to do it, but like some of us don't really want to do it. But the people who like watched Slayer, they were like all for it. They were like, hell yeah, dude, let's go for it. And that's where the first original team pretty much originated from. And that's where I met Nuclear,
Okay.
and yeah, because Nuclear was in a chat, and then he was like, I'm down, and then yeah.
And so it seems like the whole speedrunning thing seemed more important with those people,
Yeah.
so to speak.
All right, let me. All right, so the group was C. Bechtold, which is Slayer fan, which still is at the time, and then there was Sensei Spyro, who was also in the legend himself. So it was me and him. Then Shoot for Cookies. Oh shit. Yeah, it was Shoot for Cookies, and then Smoke is Pro, and then No Sense. So this was actually before Nuclear. What the hell? Oh
Loopholes in your story.
no, Nuclear was in the. Wait. Nuclear was in the Vault of Glass speedrun. That's what it was. So we did Crota Zen, and then we did Vault of Glass after, and that's how I picked up Nuclear. And then me and Nuclear two-manned Atheon with no self-res.
Were you
So
the
that was
first to do that?
No.
Oh, okay. Wait, was it you and Nuclear that did the 2-man Crota speedruns as well?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys
That's
played together for a while.
yeah. After that, like he was like the best person that I played with at the time. So obviously I just like played with him.
And then when did you start playing with like Tfue?
I actually after I broke off from the legend himself, I completely like didn't really talk to Tfue that much until like later on, like in Destiny. We were like looking for people, and we were like, "Yo, Tfue, dude, you want to join?" Like, hell yeah, man. But no, when we created Redeem, it was actually like overnight thing. We were like, "Yo, let's just make a clan, like, so we're not like all in like different types of like clans," and then
Yeah, it's just all merged to one big
yeah,
fucking.
and there was like so many like different like names we were gonna go with, and then Nuclear and Shit for Cookies made the clan name. When I was asleep and I woke up, I was like, "Yo, dude, Redeem's sick. Like, let's go with that." So then we were like, "All right, Redeem it is," and it was me, Nuclear, and Cookies were the
So
three
so
people.
so I don't even think I really know the answer to this, and it's funny because I'm in the clan. Why the name Redeem?
I have no idea. They did it when I was
Really?
asleep. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can see like applications from that. Like you make a mistake, you do something, you redeem yourself next. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
definitely applications you can see with gaming, but I don't know if the most obvious ones would be the ones that were made with intentions.
Hmm. I don't know. I think it
Okay.
was just like an OG name that was like available at the time
Yeah.
because like we wanted like an OG name instead of like something stupid.
Yeah. No, it's definitely dope.
But yeah, after that we were like, all right, we need some members, and then I hit up Rubber because I knew Rubber was like a pretty good guy.
Okay.
And, hit him up, and then it just went down the line after that.
All right? So I gotta ask, were you part of the like when you guys asked me to join?
Was I a part of?
Like, were you a part of that decision when like Tfue asked me to join, or did you just happen to be in the party that day?
Nah, actually, you were like a person that I knew for a while though.
Uh,
And then like whenever he like brought up saying like we should get Glad into Redeem, I was like, yeah, dude.
yeah, yeah. But then comes the famous drum set line.
Oh yeah, the fucking I don't want this drum set or drum set Crota soloing ass in here or something like that, dude. I forgot what it was, but
You're basically like, get the fucking but get the drums out here. I don't want that shit in here. Or some shit like that. And I was like, oh, this guy,
it was
fuck.
something like that.
This
Well,
guy.
no, I remember because the 2-man Crota speedrun,
Nah.
the freaking 10:30. But no,
shit.
yeah, I remember that. I remember like who you were because of that, and this was like before you
Yeah.
did your Crota freaking
Yeah, it was still
shit.
pretty early. Like, it was, yeah. It was still pretty early in all of our speedrunning and challenge careers and whatnot.
Yeah. I would say the most toxic time in the speedrunning was right when Redeem was fresh, and then this was Tanix came out, and I did a solo speedrun of Tanix, and apparently this was the time when Flash and Error and Sneed and HMO5 were like all in a clan together
Yeah.
doing speedruns as well, and apparently I did a speedrun in Tanix, and so did Error, and I beat Error's time, and I didn't even realize who the fuck Error was at the time. And they said that I was copying strats, blah 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 this, blah 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 that. They were being hella toxic, dude. And that's where the first like competition really began.
Yeah.
It was between Redeem and Hidden Machine.
I'll let you continue. I just want to tell one quick story regarding Error, and I hope he listens to this. He's heard it before, but so I was in a party with my buddy Doug. I know for sure Doug was in there, and I don't remember who else was there. But I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go mess around with like Oryx and see what I can do in like Oryx, like see if I can actually fucking damage him, because I think you might be able to use self-res, like, and I kid you not, like, I thought of all these ideas were my ideas. Like, I didn't copy them from anybody. There were no videos out about soloing bombs on Oryx, and I was like, I feel like you can just stack the two ogres, jump in them on one side, collect the bombs, shoot his chest, self-res, and see if you can do damage to him. So I did I stacked two bombs on one side, jumped in, and I think I only got one bomb of damage because the bombs were like slightly off stack, and I put it on my YouTube channel. It was like one of my first videos, and I was like solo Oryx damage, and then I was just like, all nice. I was just like, hey, this is just something I tried out while chilling in a party, and I was like, you can do damage solo, and I was like, I wonder like where it can go from here. I'll practice like consistency. And this guy his name back then was Error Bops. I don't know if you remember when his YouTube was at. But this guy named Error Bops. And this was before I was even, like, I didn't even really know fucking Twitch that well. He comes in and he goes, yeah, this would be impressive if I didn't do this, like, last week or something. And then he goes, you didn't even do it right, like, nerd or something. And then he goes, PogChamp. And I didn't even know what PogChamp was, because I didn't know like what emotes were in Twitch. Like, I just was so clueless to like the whole fucking internet thing, still. I'm just a fucking dude that graduated college that wanted to try something challenging in a game with like totally good intentions, And I was like, what the fuck? I literally typed back, what the fuck is a PogChamp? That was my response to him. And then I guess eventually when we met, like, he deleted his comment, and then I just deleted the video, so the video doesn't even exist anymore. But that was the first interaction I ever had with Errors, him just coming into my fucking video, just straight being a fucking asshole, like right off the bat. And I was like, God, who the fuck is this? And then later I found out that Error Bops was Error, and I was like, oh my God, this is that fucking guy, and he's in my clan. Yeah, and I was like, what? So obviously, like, I approached him about it. I was like, dude, do you remember blah 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 blah? But yeah, anyway, so where the fuck did you leave off? Oh, about the competition, toxic. Yeah.
Yeah, so they made this meme saying like when you go for speedruns every week, but Hidden Machine beats you, which
Yeah.
it was true. Like it was, we would go for the speedruns on the Nightfall like every week, and they would beat us just because I mean they're better players than us. I
Yeah.
admit it. They had like better team comp and like obviously smarter players and had smarter strats.
Yeah.
But the one time we actually beat them was the Vows to Arc, Nightfall, and there was the Solar Burn, and that strike was my favorite, dude. And I knew everything about that strike, and we completely obliterated the time. I forgot what was the time. 3:08 was the
Okay.
Vows to Arc
Yeah, I think I
time.
know
We
that
did that.
run actually.
Yeah, we completely obliterated them. I
What
mean,
was the
not
time before the
obliterated
308?
them. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we completely obliterated them. We knew something that they didn't know, and obviously, like, we capitalized on it
Yeah.
and was able to beat the time by seconds that they had. But yeah, that was like the first time that we like won the competition, and then that's when right after that, Taken King dropped, and that's obviously around the Solo Orcs time, and we were true supporters of them because we knew that Era was like the first person to figure out a lot of this stuff that happened with the Solo Orcs, and
Yeah,
then
for
we knew
sure.
what was going on with the stupid what was it?
That was actually when I started
I
getting
forgot
into
his name.
Twitch.
Oh, a death card when that stuff was going on,
Yeah.
and it was just like it was just a huge mess
Oh
like that
yeah,
was
it
going
was a
on.
big mess.
Yeah,
That's
and
that's because like I feel like that was such a big mess for a reason because all right, so you had Vault of Glass, which was the first raid,
mhm,
and the first big thing that was done in that raid was Slayer and Arcpacken, right? I might
mhm.
be butchering his name.
Our packing.
Arcpacken. They two-manned it on both normal and hard.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
was like the big
And
thing.
that was like huge. And that was that how Slayer like got his name out? Like did he do anything before that? Like
I
I know he played
I would say it
Halo.
was that, and then it was Solo Crota that put his name
Okay,
in the.
cuz I know he said he put a lot of time into Halo. But
Yeah.
but he did that. Was it Furball or was it Arpakin? I don't remember. I don't want to like give somebody credit, so I guess we'll figure that out at some point. I mean, it's probably a real easy check on YouTube.
It's probably Furball or our packing.
Yeah. But so he did that, right?
Oh
But that raid wasn't soloed completely until a little bit later. And then the boss was soloed before Crota Zen was soloed, right? Like Atheon?
I think it was sold after, honestly.
It might have been. So then Slayer comes out. All right, so you have this first raid, it's cool challenges 2-man. Then Crota comes out, and then Crota gets soloed by a player entirely. And that was the first, and Destiny being such an original game, such a unique game, nothing being like it, having an end game raid that is supposed to have 6 people to be soloed was like a huge deal because and I remember like there were articles all over the place. Like that was a huge video. That video has like 1.6 million views on YouTube, which is a lot for like a Destiny video, like a Destiny challenge video, and not like a news video. So that was like huge. So after that, you got to give him a lot of credit. He started that trend of like solo challenges in Destiny. Like he really created, between his 2-man and his solo Crota, he really built up essentially an empire of people that wanted to strive to do that kind of stuff as well. So when the next raid came out, the third raid, all the PvE players were like, okay, is this boss going to be soloed? How does Bungie feel about their previous raids being 2-man and then their last one being soloed? How do they feel about that? What sort of mechanics are they going to put in to ensure that the raid is not soloable? And then before the Taken King dropped and the Oryx raid came out, there were all these articles about a mechanic heavy raid, and everybody was just like, yeah, like it's so obvious that they really don't want this boss to be sold, you know what I mean? Like all these mechanics that they're throwing in. So it already started building up a lot of like anticipation and excitement for all the PvE players. And then when it came out and you ran Oryx for the first time, like nobody can say, like when you ran that for the first time and you got into that fight, I remember one of my first thoughts was, no fucking way can you solo this. Impossible.
I was like,
It's literally no way, because you have multiple plates that people have to hold down. Somebody has to grab an aura. So like maybe you could 5 or 4 minute at the absolute minimum, because you just physically can't do everything else. And so there was all this like crazy anticipation about soloing this thing. So when people started realizing, well, technically you don't have to grab the orb up top. Like, why do you really need the orb? What does the orb actually do for you? The orb prevents you from dying from the bomb explosion. Okay, well, you have self-res. Like, why do you... Okay, so now you don't need the aura. So now you're locking it down to the plates. Okay, well, if you don't need the aura, then you don't need people to stand on the plates. So boom, like automatically all these factors were just canceled out because of self-res. And then it came down to, how can you stack enough bombs to do enough damage in 5 rounds? And then that's when the whole enraging the ogres so that they charge you strat was figured out. And once this idea started floating around that you could solo this raid, everybody fucking lost their shit. Everyone was immediately like, I'm fucking putting the disc in, I'm turning the game on, and I'm going to start attempting this and trying for this. And because of that high level of competition, anytime there's competition like that among a bunch of players, and no matter who you are, like, everybody has an ego to some extent when you're doing stuff like that. And all these fucking egos and testosterone just started clashing so fucking badly because of like all of the build up for it, and everyone was like, no fucking way, and then blah 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 blah, and then people were doing this, and like you said, it just caused a whole fucking clusterfuck of
it was just a mess.
It was a mess, but it was also at the same time a really cool time to be playing Destiny as like a competitive PvE player. And anybody that was going for those solo attempts knows how exciting that time was, because it was just like, you know, it was so cool. And that's why the Axis solo, Scarjo literally just took everything that everybody said and was like, yep, fuck you, and did it. Like, you got to give him mad props, because nobody was even trying. Everyone was just like, yeah, impossible, can't do enough damage. And Scarjo was just like, I'm just going to fuck around and just keep doing this until I get it. And then he destroyed it, you know. But the reason why the Axis solo didn't quite get the attention and the recognition that the Oryx solo did is because there wasn't that build-up. Yeah, because it was like, okay, well, this one has been soloed, and here's another raid with all these mechanics too, which will most likely be soloed at some point, because at that point in time, Destiny was already known as a game where you can't really say no to anything now, because anything can be figured out at some point. So, I don't know. Those were dope-ass times. Were you ever going for those solos at all, the Oryx ones?
No.
Really?
I never like had like any interest for it.
Yeah.
I'd rather sit there and watch other people go for it than.
What would you say is like your biggest out of dude, I know this is such a hard question because I get it all the time. Out of everything that you've done, what are you most proud of? Or maybe what was extremely difficult, or one of the hardest things that you've done?
Like from Destiny 1 all the way to Destiny 2?
All of Destiny, yeah. Both games. What are you most proud of, and what was the most difficult for you to do?
Most thing that I was proud of?
Yeah. Like, what are you still proud of to this day? You're like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm the man with that. That shit was dope.
Fucking 2-man Prestige Callus with Flesh.
2-man Prestige? True. That was fucking huge, yeah. So you would say that's your number one out of everything?
That was probably my number one, like, most proud, like,
yeah.
We fucking did it.
You did, dude. You guys grinded that the fuck out.
Yeah.
Multiple, like, 18-hour streams.
Yeah, it was really, I don't know, I just loved it.
Yeah,
And then after we did that, we were just like, fucking finally. Dude.
I know.
And then the most hardest will have to be the 2-man Argos with you.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was fucking the tightest shit ever.
Yeah, that was fucking. Would you say any other challenge has tighter DPS because it pretty much almost has to be perfect?
I'd say that was the most tightest as it will ever get.
Yeah. Dude, I'm still surprised too that nobody's replicated that. I really am. I'm not like saying that this is a little like shout out, a little fucking call out to all you duos out there, but I would love to see 2 other people get that done. I'm just curious what other people think of doing that, and I would love to see it on characters other than 2 Titans. So that's me giving a shout out to whoever listens to this. Destiny players, 2-man Argos on something other than 2 Titans, or just do it on 2 Titans. I don't know.
I mean, just watching it on 2 other Titans would be amazing.
Yeah, I just want to see somebody else do that. Like I want to watch a video and I want to watch it streamed. I think that'd be really fucking dope. But yeah, now your fucking partner Twitch streamer got the little check mark.
A
little
the fucking check, dude.
a little check mark.
I never had any intention of like just streaming.
Yeah.
It pretty much just like when I first did it, I was streaming Destiny 1. It was like really early, and I was just helping people like do Crota and stuff like that. Like it was like LFG stuff, and I was like, I mean, might as well stream it because like I had a friend who like when he was at when he wasn't able to get on because he had to share his Xbox with his brother. So whenever he wasn't on, he was like, yo, you should stream so I could like watch you and stuff. So I was like, all right, I'll just stream just for you and stuff like that. That's like pretty much how I started streaming.
And it's funny. I don't know like how many people actually know this story, but pretty much Flesh and I told Modern to apply for it because so I was chilling in a party with Flesh, and Flesh was like, "Yo, Glad." I'm not even gonna try to imitate Flesh's voice, but he was like, "Yo, Glad, you should he told me to like go to the dashboard and go to the achievement screen. He was like, do you have a little check mark there that allows you to apply for partnership? And I was like, oh shit, I actually do. I was like, I didn't even know that I filled these requirements. He's like, you should apply. So I applied, and then we were talking. We were like, dude, Modern is pretty much in the same boat as me. Like, he should apply too. So Flesh left the party. Modern came into our party. And I told him, I was like, yo, Flesh and I were talking. You should click here, go apply. And you were just so late. You didn't do it the first time I told you to. You just were like, I don't know what to type here. And you just didn't do it. So I think we came back like 2 days later. And I was like, yo, did you apply for your thing yet? And you're like, no. And I'm like, dude, apply. Like, you can be partner. Just apply. So Modern applied. And then after he applied, I actually got turned down. I don't even know if people know this, but I got rejected. They said that I had too many large hosts that were artificially buffing my viewers, and they wanted me to get higher numbers without hosts. So I was like, fuck. And then like 2 days later, Modern gets approved right away. You got approved in like what, 4 days?
Nah, it was actually like 2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks? Was it a while? Holy shit. Better than my like 6 weeks.
I was afraid that I was like, well, that's not gonna happen. I was like, well, oh well.
Especially after me getting turned down, you were probably like, fuck, they're assholes.
Yeah, after you got turned down, I was like, damn. I was like, because I know during the 2-man Prestige Callus, like Slayer would host me every single time.
I know, and that's what I was afraid of too.
Or Hundo, I was like, shit.
Yeah, getting these massive host drop. I don't know. I guess maybe you got somebody that was in a really good mood.
Probably.
But then you got that checky check mark. The checky check mark.
I mean, I like streaming and all. I definitely want to stream more. It's just hard to stream more. Just because like the way Destiny is right now.
Yeah, it's tough. Streaming's definitely it's hard as a streamer to stream games outside of your game.
Mhm.
and keep motivation to keep streaming. Because what happens is, like, if you stream any other game other than Destiny, it's not the same, with viewers. It's just not the same. And that's just how it is. Like, the people that are going to watch you and really like you are gonna be there, And as a streamer, like, you really appreciate those people. Like, those people are awesome. They're, no matter where you go, no matter what game you play, those people are going to follow you. They're there for you. They're not necessarily there for the game. But the tough part of streaming is that is not the majority of the people that watch you. The majority of the people that watch you are there to watch you play the game that they like and that they followed you on. And it can be tough to keep motivation to stream when you don't see numbers that you're used to seeing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Are you ever gonna like venture to other game streaming ones?
I don't know.
Huh? See where it goes.
Yeah. I'll probably do it for like Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, dude. That's a fucking Sea of Thieves, though. Dude, that game has some potential to be the titties.
Dude, long as the developers like they keep in touch and they keep updating with some like amazing updates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think the game has amazing potential.
I'm excited too because I like how it's cross-platform. So people from Xbox and people on PC can play together. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I've seen multiple people streaming that. So it's really cool because, like, I feel bad because I used to play with a lot of my friends from home on Xbox, and I don't play with them that much anymore just because, like, dude, once you start playing on PC, man, it's fucking really hard to go back to, like, it's hard to drive a Lamborghini and then go back to a Ford Focus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like mouse and keyboard alone is just
it's amazing.
Way better than a controller.
I didn't think I was gonna like keyboard and mouse at all. I literally said, like, when Destiny 2 was getting released on PC, I was like, I'm just gonna plug in a controller and play because I'm
me too.
not gonna deal with mouse and keyboard.
When you feel what it's like to aim and shoot a gun with a mouse, and then you pick up a controller and you try to aim with an analog, it's disgusting. Like,
I haven't used the controller.
And I'm not even trying to sound like a pretentious PC elitist. I never wanted to be that guy. But if I'm honest, I'm that guy because, like, it's just nice, dude. Like, it's fucking nice. It just feels clean. And I'm excited because I've mentioned it to a couple of my friends from home, and like, if they do listen to this, I hope you guys are fucking ready for Sea of Thieves because that game is so dope. So
definitely gonna be the tits.
Yeah, that game is really fun. So anybody that's not familiar with Sea of Thieves, like I said, you can play it on PC and on Xbox, and you can play it with Xbox and PC people. Like, you fucking cross-platform. And you're just a bunch of, from what we've seen from the beta, you're just a bunch of pirates but the graphics is really funny. So it's like a super exaggerated, cartoony, like almost cell shaded sort of art style. You could think of it as like an even more abstract, cartoony version of Fortnite graphics or something. And you just fucking chill with your buddies, and you roam the seas on ships, big or small ships, in an open sea world you get these little, like, quests to do to hunt down treasure, and then you turn the treasure in for money, and then you use money to buy clothes and weapons. And I just saw a trailer today too. You get to upgrade your ship, so, like, you can customize your ship. You can customize, I don't know ship terms, but I think it's called, like, the bow on the front of the ship, like the fucking statue thing that comes out the front. I don't know, dude, I don't even know what port side and starboard side. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I think port side is left side, and then
is it?
I mean, I honestly don't know.
I mean, that would be easy to remember because port has 4 letters and then left has 4 letters. So, like, maybe the port side of a ship. It's kind of like knife and spoon. Like like where do you put your knife, spoon, and fork on a plate? You put your fork on the left because fork has 4 letters and left has 4 letters, and then you put spoon and knife on the right because they both have 5 letters. That's like a little trick. But I'm pretty sure port is left for that. Like that's an easy way to remember it. But yeah, you roam the seas, use your money, upgrade all your shit. But the thing that interests me the most is I want to know how the PvP is going to play out, because you're doing all these things, but you also come across other players in your world, and it's not like, it reminds me of The Division, but it's not like The Division where sometimes you run into a guy and you're like, oh, he's whatever, dude, I'm getting loot, he's getting loot, like, fuck it, this guy can run with us. It's like, if you see another ship in Sea of Thieves, you're fucking yanking the anchor, turning straight towards that ship, cannons blazing. Like, it's full blown, like, I want to fuck that ship up, sink it, steal all their shit, fuck these guys, we're getting out of here with their shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's
PvP is just the best about that game.
Yeah, and it's like so, it's so funny, like the intensity that occurs when you see another ship, and I really want to know like how, if they're gonna have game modes for that, you know, like how that's gonna pan out, and I'm super excited to play that, you know, with a bunch of people. But yeah, what's gonna be our crew? Are we going you, me, Flesh, and Gimpy? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, Gimpy's the fucking dog, bro.
Alright, we'll get Gimpy on board. I'll send him a message. We'll hook it up. But yeah, anybody?
I don't know if Flesh is Flesh like 100% getting it.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Flesh is good. If anything, Flesh will play because he wants to play with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But anybody with Microsoft, so anybody with an Xbox or a PC, because I'm pretty sure it's just a Microsoft game. Yeah. Highly recommend picking that game up. I just don't want it to. I don't want it to go dead, you know. I hope it's not the thing that's super hot for a month and then it dies off. You know?
I think if the developers keep up with it and updating it and keep it interesting,
yeah,
I think it will definitely take over Fortnite, in my opinion.
But dude, we were fucking. That game is so funny, dude. Like you can
it's hilarious.
You fucking can just sit there and be like, all right. We're going out to sea, and then just go down into the cabin and just come up, and you look at your teammate, and he's just sitting there, bottom of his mug, straight up towards the clouds, just getting drunk as shit. And then when you get drunk, your whole screen just goes fucking wobbly wibbly, and you have this little bucket that you can sit there and puke into. And you can take the puke bucket and you can like stow it away and then bring it out later, and you can literally chuck the puke into people's faces, and when somebody pukes on you, your whole screen just goes green and you can't see shit. And that's just like one little thing. The whole game is just really fucking hilarious.
Especially the maps.
Oh yeah, holding the maps.
Turning the maps.
Oh god. And when you get in combat too, like you get holes in your ship, and the holes are exactly where the cannons hit, and you have to have somebody that takes wood and patches up the holes. You like nail the holes in the bottom of the ship, and then you have to have somebody else taking the bucket and scooping the water out of the ship and throwing it overboard. Like it's so funny. The combat isn't just fighting, it's like strategic battling.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's so fun, because when us and Gimpy were going at it, is just, you know, yank the anchor, somebody go down. It's just, it gets all chaotic, and we're whipping 180s and doing all this crazy shit.
Dude, the one time we were like, oh dude, there's a ship coming at us right now, and you're just fucking drunk, dude.
Yeah,
you're like, now is not a good time to be drunk, isn't it?
Dude, if you fuck up and you get drunk at the wrong time, it's not a good situation, because you can't even walk up a flight of stairs. Like, no joke, you can't make it. You're just like, fuck, and you can't do shit, and you pretty much are just useless. So you got to really choose when you're getting drunk wisely.
But no, I think the game has a lot of potential.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I just hope that they kill it with freaking like sea creatures, like adding sea creatures and stuff. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be dope. Yeah, dude, I think the Kraken will definitely be in it. I wish they put like David Jones. David Jones. Maybe you go to Davy Jones' locker. I don't know. I like David Jones. He was a dope ass character. And then there's
freaking
that
maker guy Jack Sparrow. Dude.
Yeah, I know. It is. And then there's that that other game, the Prison Escape game, that's coming out basically the same day, like the same week.
Like 3 days after, I believe.
Yeah. And that one's pretty cool because it's basically like a stealth game. Like, so if anybody's been watching us play Payday 2, it's a super stealth game, or you can just go guns a-blazing where you have to rob a bank. But this one, you have to escape a prison, and it's like a co-op game, and it's done really uniquely because it has like the whole game is in split screen. So as you're playing it, you see like another screen with your partner on it, and you have to choose which way you want to do the tasks. And it just looks really, really interesting, and I'm really curious how that's gonna be. So.
Yeah, didn't it say like if one person buys it, like the other person has it for free?
I don't know.
I think that's what it like said in the article or something.
Yeah, but that one's definitely one to.
I have to peep that one out, like when Sea of Thieves dies. Dude.
Yeah, when Sea of Thieves dies. So the fucking
when Sea of Thieves is fucking dead.
The fucking Modern and Glad, the Sean and Sean duo, fucking the Sean and Sean duo. Dude, it's actually crazy. We do have a bunch of random shit in common, actually.
Yeah.
So, all right. So both of our names are Sean, except obviously your name is spelled incorrectly.
Yeah.
SHAWN or SEAN.
Alright, fucking Scene, dude.
Dude, Scene is the oldest thing in the book. That's what everybody says. Scene. Oh, what is it? Scene. Like, bitch. SEAN was the original spelling of Sean. And for anybody that doesn't know, we did a little research one night. Apparently, SHAWN was an adjusted spelling of Sean, more like an Americanized version, because people couldn't grasp like the phonetics of SEAN being pronounced as Sean. The people need to read up on their Hooked on Phonics, I guess. But anyway, so both Sean. What's your middle initial?
P.
What, P?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So both of us Eagles fans, which is funny. This one is the craziest. Both of our BattleNet Blizzard app fucking numbers are exactly the same. Yours is Modern 11693 and mine is Glad 11693.
I don't know how like that even.
Yeah. So that one's pretty fucking nutty. What else? We both like horror movies, that was something that you always watched, right? Like I didn't influence that in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I found out that you liked horror movies, and it's funny because finding somebody that legitimately can just sit down and watch horror movies and like them is not a very common thing, you know. Like
yeah, a lot of people are like kind of like
a lot of people
horror movies and shit like that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like horror movies because either they just look too deeply into movies and they don't get the full dramatic storytelling that they want out of a horror movie, or they just don't like being freaked out, or they just can't get into horror movies and they think it's stupid and cheesy and don't like it. You know? Like one of the big things about horror movies is you gotta let your mind drift.
Just gotta go in with an open mind.
Yeah, much. Like you really gotta drift into the movie, because if you sit there and you start justifying everything and making all these decisions for yourself and not like putting yourself in the character's shoes, you're gonna think it's stupid and you're gonna think it's corny, and it's not like gonna be what you expect. Dude, we've been watching some bangers though.
Yeah, Babadook.
Besides all right, what was your favorite one that you've seen recently? Like
That
what
I've seen recently.
Yeah, or like recently within the past couple or months or whatever.
Freaking Evil Dead, dude.
Evil dude. Oh man.
Dude, that movie was amazing.
Yeah, that movie was dope. Were you expecting it to be like that?
Not at all.
Yeah, the Evil Dead remake. You do have to go back and watch the original though. I think you'll like it.
I mean, dude, the remake's pretty sick.
Yeah, the remake is dope. The movie's
But,
fucking brutal.
we have a lot of common interests.
Yeah, for sure. I guess the newest one, but this one's definitely influenced by me. I feel like a lot.
I mean, I always knew who Bass Nectar was. Like, I used to like listen to,
but that's dude. It's funny though because all of my friends, basically, if you're a good friend of mine, I have at some point heavily pushed Bass Nectar onto you. Like all my friends, like if you're friends with me, you know that I literally like suck Bass Nectar off, you know, because it's true. Like I don't care. I fucking love the guy. He's changed my life just as much as video games have changed my life. Like no joke. He's literally left such an impact on me as a human, and it's really only until you see him live that you fully understand what I mean, you know.
Mhm.
And
Got a couple more months.
yeah, dude. So fucking apparently this guy Modern is gonna come out to the freestyle session, which is an amazing experience, at least judging by last year. I mean, I hope people can't hear me clicking this pen. Can you hear that?
I heard it sometimes.
You heard it sometimes. All right, I'm just gonna put that down because I don't want like clicking to just. So yeah, apparently Modern is coming out to freestyle sessions. Amazing fucking experience. Amazing experience. And I think so I had Underdog, who's somebody that a lot of people probably know, the drum set guy. He's gonna be on one of these, by the way. I think he's the next one.
Oh, he's the drum set guy?
Yeah, he's the drum set guy. Underdog.
Oh, he's the fucking man now,
Yeah,
Cat.
no. He's the guy that did all that shit. Programmed the drums, programmed the guitar, the voice commands, everything. So he came out. So I had never met him before. And he came out to New Year's Eve. And he saw Bass Nectar at New Year's Eve, like this New Year's Eve, for the first time ever. And that was a fucking... We had some shit go down, which I will save for that podcast. We had some shit that went down. That was interesting.
All I remember was you mentioning, I've been up for 42 hours straight.
Dude, I was up for a while.
You were like, I've been up for 42 hours straight, not even tired.
We definitely
I was like, what the hell?
But Underdog is coming out too. He said something yesterday about it. So and then I have a couple. So somebody else in my chat too, I Like Bass, or Brian Rogers. He moved out to Colorado with Drew, another one of my friends, Pizza Drew in the chat. So they're huge Nectar fans, so they're coming. So we got a bunch of people with all gaming common interests that are coming out. But I've known them because they lived in DC. So, and then a couple. So like I always talk about Chief. I'm just gonna assume that he's been talking about making a trip out to Colorado. So I'm just gonna assume that would be a really good opportunity for him to come out. Yeah, it's gonna be a fucking crew. It's gonna be dope. And
dude, we're gonna be fucking pulling up in a huge ass party bus.
Now we always have a fucking huge crew when we go to these things. They're fun. It's just a massive group. Like sometimes it's such a big group, it's hard to like keep track of everybody. So that shit's gonna be dope.
Yeah, that shit would be sick. It's actually gonna be like my first like concert too.
Like
as
concert
well.
ever. Oh my god. Yeah, you're done. You're done. Dude, my second show, it wasn't my first, it was my second one. I just remember at one point when I actually realized what sort of energy and power he brings to his shows. I just looked at my one buddy and I just grabbed his shoulder and I was like, bro, I keep forgetting to breathe. Like every time he drops a beat, everything just presses on my chest so hard I can't even fucking breathe, and I keep forgetting to breathe. And he's like, he takes a big breath. He's like, dude, I forgot to breathe too. Like, it's no joke.
Oh
It's fucking intense. It's very intense. I would say besides skydiving, it's the most intense. Like,
Have you ever
experience.
skydived?
I have skydived actually. Like,
Should.
like legitimately jumped out of a plane. How high did we jump from? So when we went, it was. I'll just fucking tell the story. So there was this girl. I'm not gonna drop any names, but there was this girl, and it had always been a girl that I kind of was like, I wouldn't mind like banging that girl someday, you know, because she just, you know, she had bumps in the right places, as my dad would say. On her chest area, you know, somewhere between the belly button and the chin, there were these like protruding. Anyway, so we kind of just, yeah. So we kind of always just like, you know, flirted and texted here and there and kind of, you know, blah blah blah, but nothing really happened. And then I moved to DC, and then out of the fucking blue, I haven't talked to this girl for years, I want to say. Like, no joke. I haven't talked to this girl for years. And she hits me up and she's just like, "Hey, do you want to go skydiving?" Dude, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I was like, I mean, I am coming back to Pennsylvania like around this time. It was in the summer because I was going back anyway to go hang out with friends. And I was like, I mean, I am going to be back. And she sent me Groupon tickets to go skydiving. And I was like, fucking sure. Like, I don't know why she's asking me to go skydiving. But one, I've always wanted to go skydiving. And two, I still haven't done the thing that I was always interested in doing with this girl, so maybe this is my opportunity. So I drive back and I meet up with her and just fucking whatever, casual conversation. Like, I knew who she was, obviously, not the first time I talked to her. And we went to this place, and it was like near Philadelphia. Oh, actually, it was in Pennsylvania, but it wasn't really near Philadelphia, but it was called the skydiving. And we got all hooked up and shit. And like, I'm sitting there like, dude, skydiving ain't gonna be no problem. And she's all like, hey, I'm cool. Like, and I appreciated her attitude and shit. And I had such an awesome instructor. Like, my guy came up to me and he was the fucking man. He was Australian. He was just like joking around and saying all this shit. And he was just so cool. And her instructor was pretty cool too. But, so we get into the plane. And we're going up, and they were like, okay, well, the normal cost that you guys pay for your tickets drops you at 9,000 feet or something. I'm like, okay, so that's like basically like not quite 2 miles, but definitely not 2 miles. You know, it's like a little under, because what it would be 10,560 feet would be 2 miles. And they were like, well, if you pay an extra $50, we'll take you up to 13,500 feet. And I'm like, oh, dude, an extra 4,500 feet? I was like, how much free fall does that add? Like, no parachute, just straight plummeting towards the planet, like ground to your face. Like, what is the extra time? He goes, it adds an extra 30 seconds. I was like, sign me up. Fucking 30 seconds is insane to be falling towards the ground. So they were like, and for an extra 75, your instructor, because you have to go tandem the first time you go, which means you're underneath of the guy and he's like above you, so you see everything. He just pulls the chute. They were like, for an extra 75, he will hold a GoPro the whole time and film your face the entire time while you're dropping down. So I have it somewhere. I'll have to find it at some point. So I'm like, sign me up, 75. I was like, $125 for a camera and an extra 30 seconds of free fall. And she was like, fuck it, I'll do the same thing. So we're going up the plane, and we hit 9,000, and they let this huge group of people off, like everybody that didn't want to drop the extra 4,500 feet. And then there were like 4 of us left, 3 or 4 of the troopers that wanted the extra height. And we're going up, and like we were the last 2 to get out. And I was so cocky. I was just like, no problem. Like, I'll do this. No problem. Got it. He's like, all right. He bumps me. He goes, all right, you're up. Get to the door. And I got to the door, and I was like, and I fucking stuck my head out the door. I have never fucking been so absolutely mortified in my entire life. I was just so scared. Just this huge wave of just, oh shit, like what the fuck am I doing? And I was like, nah. And I got so fucking afraid. I almost couldn't jump. I was like, dude, nah. And you just gotta lean forward and just jump out. And like the second when I jumped out, I'll never forget that feeling. Just everything in my stomach and my throat just dropped. It's just like, because you, like I said, are just falling to your death. Like there is no parachute, nothing. You're just plummeting to the earth at however the fuck fast you fall. And in the video, I'm like screaming and shit, and like I didn't even fucking feel the guy behind me and shit, and he's just filming me. I didn't see the camera, and then you fall for a while. Like it feels a while. And I remember the one problem that I had is I couldn't breathe. I couldn't figure out how to breathe. Like the whole time we were falling, I remember like I couldn't breathe. I was like, I like couldn't get air in my mouth because all the air is like rushing toward like right into your face at maximum speed. And I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to breathe? And I tried like breathing in my nose, and like I always have allergies, so like my nose is never clear. And I'm like trying to breathe in my mouth, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna tough this out. And I just remember the whole free fall, I just like had a really hard time breathing. And then when he pulled the parachute, I was like, oh, thank God I can actually breathe now. And then the parachute is really cool too, because you just kind of float and you get a lot of hang time, like multiple minutes while you're just floating down, and you just get to see all the scenery, and you're like so high in the air. I think they pulled a parachute like somewhere around I don't know, a couple thousand feet. You free fall for a while, or you parachute for a while. But yeah, we fucking came down, and I was just like, how the fuck was that? And she was like, oh my God, I didn't expect it to be like that. I was like, me neither. That shit was so fucking intense. And then I stuck with the girl. I met up with my friends later on at a local bar, hung out, ditched my friends, went back to the girl's place, did the spadoozy. Mission accomplished.
Everything that you wanted to do done all in one day.
Yep. It was yeah. So we did it. We did the shkaboozy. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, if you're looking to skydive, that shit's fucking intense. So I would say that, and then like base nectar. Next. Do the next thing down.
I definitely want to go skydiving.
Yeah.
Like at least like once in my life. So.
Yeah, dude, I highly recommend it. I fucking highly recommend it. Definitely quite the experience. I just like that adrenaline shit, man. Dude, those guys are fucking crazy that do base jumping and like the paragliding. Like the guys that put on the fucking squirrel suits and just jump off mountains and like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's actually nutty.
I mean, they're doing it for a living. They're literally doing crazy shit for a living.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think base jumping definitely is one of the things on my like to-do list. Do you have any bucket list things, like things that you want to cross off before you fucking kick the bucket?
Honestly, I never really like made a bucket list.
Yeah, I guess you
So,
don't
like,
necessarily have to physically make one, but
I mean, I mean, like have one like in my head, and
really,
yeah, I never really like had that.
is there anything that comes to mind? Like
Definitely
something?
skydiving's one of them.
Yeah, that's a good one to have on the list, man.
That seems like something that's on everyone.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just a solid thing to have
Yeah.
for anybody, because it's the full blown, like, face the most terrifying thing ever besides like drowning. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like face it fucking head on and tackle it and conquer it and then get it done. Anything besides that?
I mean, traveling be like
To
another one.
where?
I definitely would love to travel to France, and then
France?
I would also like to travel to like the UK, like London,
Yeah.
and then obviously Dubai would be 100% freaking.
Oh, dude. That fucking city.
Dubai would be like the first place I would travel to, honestly.
Yeah. Dude, that city is nutty. How about that building that they're building?
The freaking rotating
Yeah.
skyscraper.
Yeah. Is it actually gonna turn? I didn't like look at any videos of it.
I saw that they were doing it, and
Mhm.
then that was pretty much it. Like I haven't really like looked up into it or anything.
Yeah. Apparently they're fucking making a building that straight up is like a, I guess it's gonna look something like a DNA strand, and
Mm.
it rotates and twists like the whole building, and it's gonna be a
Yeah.
huge skyscraper. Like, I don't know how tall they're gonna make it. Is I mean, it can't be as tall as the Burj Khalifa. That thing's insane. That thing, if you look at the tallest buildings in the world, like what's the one in Chicago? Fuck is that
The
building
Sears
called?
Tower.
Sears Tower. Yeah, it like
Or
completely
Willis Tower,
towers
I should say.
over the Sears Tower. Absolutely fucking just crushes it. Makes it look like
It literally sticks in the clouds.
yeah, yeah. It makes it look like an apartment building. It's a joke.
But no, I think like the rotating one would be like sick, especially if a restaurant was on it.
Oh yeah, because you could fucking see like all different
Mhm.
horizons.
That would be a super expensive one though.
I'm sure, dude, to get like top club seats all the way at the
Mhm.
top, and I'm sure that the whole thing's gonna be made out of glass. I don't see why not.
I
You'll
mean,
be able
dude,
to
it's
see.
fucking Dubai.
Yeah, yeah. You'll be able to see.
It's just crazy to think like the position that it's in, like just how rich it is.
Yeah.
Like you think like the being in the Middle East is just kind of
Yeah.
and
You have Dubai, Lamborghini capital of the world.
Dubai's it's just a sick place.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I agree. And then they have that like spidery hotel section that sticks out into the water and like branches off into all these different little like side streets, cul-de-sacs. That's such a weird word, cul-de-sac.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if you Google Dubai, I'm sure it'll be one of the first pictures. It's like all these little roads that branch out from a main road, and it's in water. And it almost looks like neighborhoods, kind of. I'm gonna look it
They're
up.
called palms.
What is it called?
Like this one's like Palm Jumeirah or something like that.
You see it though.
Jumeirah.
Oh yeah, like if you click. So if you Google
You can just
image,
click on maps.
if you Google image Dubai, just type in Dubai, and it's the first picture on the second row. So it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That picture right there. It's like all these little branched out. Yeah, that shit's crazy. Dude, it looks like neighborhoods. It literally looks like neighborhoods. Like that's where you could go and live there, or maybe that's where kids in that area go for senior week. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Fucking Dubai is the best, dude.
Yeah.
I wonder like how they are like military wise and like economically and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm sure doing pretty well.
I
I'm
don't know.
not a big.
You never hear them in the news ever.
What, Dubai?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't watch the news, so.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Dude, fuck that shit. I don't deal with I
Politics
frankly
and
I
stuff
hate
like that.
I hate the news and I hate politics. I don't want anything. Nothing. I tried a couple times, like gave it some serious efforts, and it just bores the absolute fuck out of me. The last thing I want to do with somebody is sit down and talk about fucking stocks and bonds. Like, I don't care.
I think economics are pretty very interesting to me.
Yeah.
And, like the stock market and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I'm definitely not shitting on people that like that stuff. There's plenty of people that make really good living and are very knowledgeable, and I'm sure it's a really good social skill to have. But I just fucking shoot me, dude. Or you catch me in a conversation talking about the political issues. Like, I don't fucking care at all. There are people out there that deal with that shit. I'm gonna let them deal with that shit.
You would rather shit in your hands and clap.
I would rather shit in my hands and clap. Absolutely. Right in there, bro. That's why there's people like fucking us. You want to talk to me about the thumper dumper that you took last week? Hit me up. Give me a call. Send me a few pics of that squirrely turd in your toilet, dude. I'll give you a rating. I'll rate the turd on a 1 to 10 scale. That's like a 7.5.
When you start talking about politics, dude.
Yeah, I'm out. Dude. You start talking about politics, I'm gonna fucking pull down. I'm gonna drop trowel, bend over, right into my hand, put them directly in front of my face, so my hands are like angled towards my nose, and just bang as hard as I can.
Oh my
Nostrils open, mouth open, just back of the throat.
Dude, that's disgusting.
Dingleberries like chilling in my throat for like 2 weeks. Oh, the Dow Jones dropped 3 points today.
Man, I don't know what happened to the heart. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking out.
The freaking Dow just went out there.
Jerk off this time. Oh, huge load. I'll fucking wash my hands in my cum and just never like actually wash my hands. Just let it dry on there, all crusty. I'll go to bed. I'll wake up the next morning. My hands are like in basically a cum cast because it just fucking hardened overnight. Well, if I had any broken bones, now I'm good for like a day or two.
Jesus.
Yeah, fuck that
shit. Wow. Okay. Well.
No. I love how people get offended when like you tell them that you don't vote. Like when I worked,
you're not contributing or something.
Yeah, it's like when I worked in the pharmaceutical industry. You know, a lot of these doctors have a lot of opinions because it affects the way that they work, and they'd be asking me questions about like, you know, what do you think of this election and this, and I would just like, as respectfully as possible, I just don't really pay attention that much to it. And they're like, well, who'd you vote for? And I'm like, respectfully, I just don't vote. I don't feel that my opinions are strong enough for me to vote. I would just be voting based off of what somebody told me. And people get like really upset. And
you don't care about the country, blah blah blah.
Yeah, and it's like, no, it's not that I don't care. Like I obviously care. It's just if something is not an interest to you, why should you be forced to make decisions that aren't yours at all? Like, I think if you're going to vote, you should be voting because you truly want to support and stand behind what that person is saying. Like, if you don't like heavy metal screamo music, are you gonna buy screamo albums and listen to that music and support it and promote it? No, because you don't have an interest in that subject. And it's like, if I don't have an interest in that subject, that doesn't make me any less of a person because I don't vote. Me not voting is what I should do as somebody in my state. Because, like, if I were to vote, it would literally just me be like going up to somebody and saying, hey, who should I vote for? Because I don't really know anything about them. Or turning on the news and just listening to all the fucking blah, 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 blah. And it really depends. What news channel do you happen to turn on? Who are you listening to? Because everybody only has like one-sided opinion. Nobody in politics is fucking directly cut down the middle and agrees with everything from both sides. Nah, that shit don't happen. So it's like, all right, you may have just tuned into this person. So these are now all of your opinions, but they're not your opinions at all. You're just regurgitating what this person told you, and now you're voting because of what he told you. It's not your opinion at all. You're just supporting somebody that you know nothing about. It's like ignorance is bliss, really. Like, if you're ignorant to something, sometimes it's a good thing. Because, I don't know. Anyway.
I didn't vote, and I kind of don't really plan on voting anyways.
Yeah.
Just because, like, what does one vote could have really matter, honestly?
it's
not going to change anything.
Yeah, I don't even have, like, that sort of mindset about it at all. It's, I'm not going to vote for something that I don't have opinions on.
I just think the whole, like, system is just kind of...
No.
Yeah, dude, fucking politics are dead. Government's dead.
Government's
irrelevant.
Yikes. Yikes.
Fucking government's just as dead as Destiny, dude.
Yo, Destiny. Alright, that joke just needs to go.
I love Destiny. It's just hard to play casually. That's all.
I agree. Not the same. Can't just hop on and pick up some bounties and do them on all three characters and then peace the fuck out and like, dude, it was an awesome day. I had a lot of fun, man.
Like, I could get on, like, if there's something to do, like a challenge or like or we're doing speed runs, or like if there's something to do and we're, you know, going to do something, like I could easily get on and I'll be like excited for it.
Yeah.
But it's just like when there's nothing there and it's like the same stuff, it's kind of just like, all right, okay. There's like, I don't know. It's just not the same as it was in Destiny 1, where you could like have something to do all the time.
Dude, it's definite.
And I miss that in gaming, because like every time when I know you brought up like in a different like style as I was. Like, personally, I did not get into video games like at a young age. I got into video games around 4th grade, 5th grade.
So wait, how old are you in 4th grade, 5th grade?
I don't know.
Dude, I'm so like, I know grades and I have an idea, but I don't know, like, there's some people that be like, oh, if you were in 5th grade, you were 12. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't fucking
All
know.
I just know is in kindergarten, I was 4 years old. So
yeah. So wait, your first system was Xbox then?
I had the original Xbox because my dad's friend gave it to me. He was like, I don't use it anymore. He was like, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then after I had that, that's when I got into like Need for Speed games. And then I was like, wow, like video games are fun.
Video games are sick.
Yeah, video games are fucking sick. and I used it as like a way to like just basically
Yeah.
just to just get away from like everything and stuff like that. And then I got an Xbox 360 and that got into Call of Duty and Halo. That's when gaming for me really got pretty serious. I would always spend so much time gaming, and then yeah.
Dude, it's funny. So like, I think one of the things about gaming that attracts uh, a lot of people and has built such a community is gaming is an escape for a lot of people. And a lot of people game and get hardcore into gaming for different reasons.
hmm
But I know that there is an enormous, most likely a large majority. I feel like large majority is I don't need the word large there. Majority. People game because it's their escape. It's what they want to do. Maybe they don't want to do what other people want to do, or maybe there are some social issues there, or maybe I know that there's a lot of people that game that get like picked on. It's just a lot of people that aren't the fucking the awesome stud sports athlete banging all the chicks in high school, the fucking man. Like it's somewhere for people to go to get us to have an escape, to enjoy themselves, to dive deep into something that they really like, but not be bothered by the rest of the world, and
hmm
to be fully accepted by everybody that they're playing with, and to feel very comfortable and to not feel pressured in social situations. And I feel like that's a huge part of gaming. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I see the same thing in EDM. I see the same thing. I see a lot of people in the music scene, particularly the electronic music scene, that go there because they don't same reasons. Like maybe they're a little bit more awkward, or they get picked on, or they're not super cool, or they have some issues, and they just want to go to a place where everybody accepts them, and where everybody is really nice, and everybody will take you in as a family, and show you around, and sort of get you, and like you don't have to worry about fights or getting picked on or people making fun of you. There's no ego trips. And it's really funny over my years of seeing the similarities between wait, now I'm fucking thinking about twin. Twin. The
Twin.
word between literally sounded weird. Between EDM and gaming, and it's just something very interesting to me that I've noticed. And I've always been that type of person I don't give a fuck how cool you are, or what the fuck you look like, or whatever. As long as you're a good person and we have some shit in common, I'm cool with that. That's good enough for me. And I think that's too. I often wonder the overlap between people in the electronic scene and people in the gaming scene. I often wonder how much overlap there is. Like how many people in EDM are heavy into gaming, and how many people are gaming are heavy into EDM, and then how many people that game that have no fucking clue about the electronic music scene, and same thing with the EDM scene. How many people have no clue about gaming? So
hmm
I'm gonna be interested to see what you think about it, because it's such a fucking dope ass atmosphere. Like there's no better feeling than going to a show, like going to an EDM show, and from the second you walk into the door, just all stress and anxiety and everything that you have is just like released. You just feel very comfortable, and like you'll bump into somebody and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, do you want what?" Like everybody's just so friendly, like immediately. And it's just like a really cool it's a really cool place to live. And whenever you're there, like you're not thinking about other things. You're thinking about what you're doing. You're thinking about the people that you're with. You're thinking about the people around you. You're thinking about the music that's being played. You're thinking about your favorite song. Like it's just a very like in the now moment. And and I think that present day EDM is equivalent to essentially like hippies in the 60s. Is how I see it. Like you go to these music festivals and it's just a bunch of people running around with fucking flowers in their hair. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically modern day hippies, and it's an industry that is just growing and growing and growing every year, and it's fucking huge. But the funny thing is, it wasn't always like this. Like there was not when I was a kid, the scene that is out now did not exist.
It wasn't as big.
Not even close. No fucking way. You had your old school like progressive house DJs and trance DJs like, and they had all these big shows, and you know there's been festivals that have been around for a really long time, but not to the extent that they are today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you go to these shows today and it's just full blown, just a massive party with like hundreds of thousands of people at these things, you know, huge. And that's all that it is. Like shows, like going to a Bass Nectar show or going to a music festival, any DJ is just a fucking huge party. It's like a house party, but fucking massive in a warehouse or outside or something. And nobody gives a fuck that they don't know you because everybody's best friends for all they're concerned.
Just having a blast.
Dude, that's all it is, man. You just don't give a fuck. And a lot of people go to these things because they are stressed out in real life, and they go to these things because they want to get away from it. And you know, it can be a blessing and a curse. It can definitely be a blessing and a curse. You do got to be careful because there was a point in my life where I got a little too consumed in EDM. I would say this was right when I graduated college and when I moved to DC. I got very consumed in it, and I pretty much just didn't care about anything else other than going to shows. Like that's all that I cared about, following people around. And it got me into a little bit of trouble for sure. It got me into trouble with authorities. It got me into trouble with like money. It got me into trouble with my job. It got me into trouble with friends and family. It just consumed me very heavily. So I guess, you know, a lesson that I would tell people, and I know there's a lot of younger people in the scene, is, you know, you do gotta be careful, and you gotta check yourself sometimes, because if the EDM scene does consume you, you can't let it. You gotta step back. You gotta put some priorities in order, because it's very, very, very easy. And yours, like, dude, I'm so pumped because I love taking people to shows for their first time.
Yeah, I'm pumped as well.
It's so dope.
Like when I saw it, I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Colorado!" I'm like, "So how far were you from this place?"
Yeah.
Because I remember we mentioned it. I was like, "Just let me know if you're gonna go to one or something. Like, I would love to go."
Yeah, it's fucking right up the street. Not far. I don't know. Shit.
I think it's funny how like we never talk to each other, and then all of a sudden start doing the 2 man Argos, or no, it wasn't even the 2 man. No, it was the 2 man phase 1.
Was it?
We started doing that. Yeah, well, we started that.
Yeah.
Because like we never really like played like with each other.
Well,
like,
that's
we did
because
that.
well, that's just because I like had my job in DC, and then I moved up here, and then I pretty much just kind of took the money from leaving that and was like, I'm just gonna put a lot of time into gaming and see where it takes me. So that gave me a lot of more time to talk with you guys and shit.
And then the freaking Then I replaced iron.
Yeah, dude. God damn it, Iron. Where are you? Iron. Iron addict. Yeah, we need to start an iron, like Flesh said, an Iron GoFundMe. PC. Need an Iron PC fund.
Just about to donate him a PC.
Dude, somebody donate Iron a PC. That's what we need.
And then that freaking hotspot on his phone for the internet. And he's
Dude, he did all those challenges we did. He was always running his fucking, but he never like. Okay, he would lag, but he wasn't always that guy that was so bad that you couldn't play with him.
mm-hmm.
Like you could pretty much always play with him. He would just have his move.
Yeah, I wonder how his bill is whenever he goes over.
Yeah, no. I mean, he used to no life the shit out of it. He had some fucking data. I don't know.
Oh, just go.
Shit. Well, all right, yeah. Well, we've been chatting for about 2 hours now, so I think we covered a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's anything else you want to say.
Not really.
Not really. Not really. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Modern Tryhard, the red-headed ginger. That's what I called you before.
Yeah, you're a dick.
It's not my fault you were born with fucking fire crotch.
Yeah, I'm about to diet.
Yeah. But I think fucking yeah. I think we're good with that. And then I guess Underdog will be on. Yeah.
Are you gonna do like a bunch of people at once?
We can do a fucking giant party one at some point.
I'm sure that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, we'll have to get a crew together. Yeah, thank you guys for listening and shit, and talk to you guys. Oh, let me see if anybody has any questions. Let me see. Got any questions? Check your stream or something. God damn, dude, I need to answer my whispers, yeah. Yeah, but this would be the time that we answer any specific questions before we sign off. So if anybody does have any questions, I check the whispers. Kind of similar to like checking fucking mail or email or something like that.
I am Steve.
If I have any messages. Whatever. Do you see anything, Modern? Any messages for you?
No.
Alright. Well, I'm not going to sit here and stall. So, thank you guys for watching. Tune in next time. I love it. I love it.